Dr. Mark Lead, Interim Dean of the College of Pharmacy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Members of the class of 2019, members of the faculty and staff, distinguished guests, friends and families, good afternoon. This ceremony represents the 121st year pharmacy students have graduated from OSU, and in the 19th year that we've had our own graduation ceremony. I speak on behalf of the entire faculty and staff when I say we are very proud to be honoring this distinguished group of men and women who have completed all academic requirements necessary to be awarded the Doctor of Pharmacy degree or the PhD in Pharmaceutical Sciences. As students, they have motivated and inspired all of us, and it has been our collective pleasure to work with them over these past years. We now look forward to the next stage as they begin their careers and become our colleagues and peers in the profession of pharmacy and biomedical research areas for many years to come. During this academic year, the College of Pharmacy awarded 4 Doctor of Philosophy or PhD degrees in pharmaceutical sciences, and we're going to confer 96 professional Doctor of Pharmacy degrees. 4 of the PharmD graduates will also receive their MBA degrees from the OSU College of Business. We're very pleased that 3 of the 4 PhD graduates and 90 of the 96 PharmD degree recipients are here with us today. These students come from a variety of backgrounds and geographic locations. Here are some demographic statistics that define the graduating PharmD class. 49% of the class is female, 51% is male, which is kind of a switch from previous years. The average age of our PharmD graduates is 30 years, reflecting the increased maturity of our students. 80% of the PharmD graduates are Oregonians. The other 20% of the graduates come to us from other states such as Arizona, California, Maryland, Michigan, Nevada, and Washington, and internationally from Vietnam. Much of the class completed their pre-pharmacy training in Oregon, and 41% completed some or all of their pre-pharmacy training at OSU. Nearly all of the graduates have already accepted positions in a variety of professional practice settings ranging from community practice to long-term care pharmacy, hospitals, managed care organizations, and industry. 28 of our graduates will go on to further their professional development by pursuing postgraduate training in the form of pharmacy, residency, or postdoctoral studies. 7 students have family members who are pharmacists, all of whom are OSU College of Pharmacy legacy families, a true testament to the tradition of families attending the College of Pharmacy at OSU. The faculty of the College of Pharmacy is extremely proud of the class of 2019 and of their achievements. Their hard work and commitment to patient care has prepared them to advance in the profession of pharmacy and become creative leaders for collaborative healthcare in Oregon and across the country. Whether they choose to practice in the community or hospital settings or pursue postgraduate education or public health opportunities, they have acquired the professional skills and the training and relationships they need to make significant contributions to improving health and wellness in the populations that they serve. The faculty and I are honored to have helped them prepare for this exciting next stage in their careers, and we offer our heartiest congratulations and very best wishes. I would now like to recognize the faculty and staff of the college who are in attendance. It is often said the most important product of a university is its graduates, and this is absolutely true. However, it is the quality of the faculty that defines the stature and reputation of a university. A university is its faculty, and I'm very privileged to work with a remarkable group of scholars and educators who comprise the College of Pharmacy faculty. This group of distinguished faculty seated on the stage with me have had the most successful year in the 121-year history of the College of Pharmacy, winning over $25 million in federal grant funding in this fiscal year alone, funding that allows them to conduct cutting-edge research both at OSU and OHSU and with collaborators all throughout the world. These same faculty have provided the deep foundational science background and broad clinical training that has prepared the class of 2019 to be leaders and to thrive in a rapidly evolving healthcare landscape. Will the members of the faculty please stand to be recognized? I'd also like to recognize and offer my sincerest appreciation to all the outstanding professional faculty and staff in the college who are with us today. This group of dedicated professionals works extremely hard to ensure student and faculty needs are continually met and that the college operates smoothly, including overseeing special events such as this wonderful ceremony. And I can attest to the fact that none of this would happen without the professional staff. Will all of the professional faculty and staff members please rise to be recognized? I also want to introduce two special guests we are very fortunate to have here today, Dr. Edward Fazer, Provost and Executive Vice President at Oregon State University, and Dr. Elena Andreessen, Provost and Executive Vice President at Oregon Health and Science University. Both of these academic leaders will address the graduates shortly, and I'll have an extended introduction. Finally, I want to recognize and welcome two representatives of our corporate partners who have a long-standing history of generously and graciously supporting our student events. Joining us today are Steve Bass from Fred Meyer, and Stephen Serdo and Paul Wachter from Albertsons Company. Both groups have been very actively engaged with our program, and it's my great pleasure to see them and welcome them here to this ceremony today. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce Sonia Lee to represent the class of 2019. Sonia has had an outstanding career with us during her educational journey and has been a strong student leader. She has a few words to share with her classmates.
Thank you, Dr. Lead. Wow. Good afternoon to all the friends, families, and faculty members who are here today. On behalf of the class of 2019, let me thank you for joining us in this special moment. And it is my honor to speak to you today. About a month ago, I was asked to give a speech today at this ceremony, and at the time, I was in Paris, drinking some good wine, so maybe it was the wine talking, so I said yes. Yeah, I did not know this would give me a midlife crisis. I thought a good speech would just come to me naturally, so I waited, but it didn't happen. So I started to watch movies, listen to music, read some articles to find some good quotes, but none of them were appropriate if you know what kind of music I listen to. So I even Googled how to write a perfect speech, and you have to be humorous, have something memorable, inspirational, but you have to avoid cliches and you have to talk like Shakespeare. So I didn't know writing a good speech would be harder than writing a good cover letter. So on the way to Corvallis today, I was very emotional, I had some mixed feelings. I mean, I wrote this 2 weeks ago, but I knew I was gonna have that. Soon, we will become what we desired and set out when we entered this program. I can only speak for myself, but when I started this program, and even throughout this program, I doubted myself many times and asked to myself, am I really going to be a pharmacist? Or is this the right path for me? Am I not smart enough for this program? Helen Keller once said, "Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved." Through all these doubts and insecurities, and times again, my peers displayed leadership skills, applied their clinical knowledge, and supported one another, including myself, through this journey. So thank you to my peers for helping me and one another through our experience of trial and suffering. Thank you for inspiring me by showing that whatever path success can be achieved through hard work, dedication, and consistency. The last 4 years have been an amazing time for me to get to know all of you, and I'm so excited to hear about all of your great stories on how you changed and improved the future of healthcare moving forward. My peers that are graduating today came from all walks of life, and we all gathered here 4 years ago in the College of Pharmacy as unknown strangers. But we all came together for a common goal to better serve our communities and patients. Through this journey together, we all experienced, at some point, feelings of joy and agony, as well as insomnia and some sort of caffeine addiction. We laughed and cried together through it all and picked one another up when one of us was down. But like all good things, this journey has finally completed its course, and it is coming to an end. But really, this is not the end, but rather the beginning. Beyond today, all of us will once again to embark on our own separate paths in life. And whatever path any of you individuals being honored today choose, be confident knowing that education, training, and support you received from the OSU College of Pharmacy, faculty members, preceptors, other members of the pharmacy community, and families and friends have prepared you to find success wherever you may end up. To all the faculty, I'm not sure if it's possible to convey in words the sense of gratitude we, the students, feel towards all of you. But over the past 4 years, having you as our mentors, advisors, and teachers has given us the tools and confidence to become better pharmacists. You have all prepared us to the best of your abilities for the real world. And I would also like to express my appreciation to all the friends and families that supported all of our colleagues. Without your endless love, guidance, and support, this journey would have been a lot rougher. And also thank you for putting up with us whenever we were grumpy during exam weeks. If my classmates would be willing, let us take a moment to thank all the people in attendance today, as well as those who could not be here. Thank you. And I can clearly remember 4 years ago when we were in our white coats. And at the time, I could not imagine this time. But yet, here we are again, but now in our caps and gowns. And at this time, I would like to take the opportunity to ask you all for your help in joining me to congratulate the OSU College of Pharmacy class of 2019. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. As most of you are probably aware, the Doctor of Pharmacy, or PharmD program, is a unique collaborative partnership between Oregon State University and Oregon Health and Science University in Portland, the state's only academic medical center. The PharmD degree is actually jointly awarded by both universities, and students spend time on both campuses. While our faculty are employees of OSU, the majority of faculty have joint appointments in OHSU departments and institutes and collaborate extensively with OHSU scientists and clinicians. In fact, nearly half of the $25 million new dollars in federal funding that our faculty have won this year, they've won as part of a collaborative group with scientists and clinicians at OHSU. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Elena Andreasen, who has joined us here today to represent OHSU. Dr. Andreasen has served as Provost and Executive Vice President since October 1st, 2016. She previously served as Interim Dean of the OHSU PSU School of Public Health, beginning in 2014, where she oversaw the successful effort to secure accreditation and recruit the founding dean. She continues as a professor of epidemiology in the New School of Public Health. Dr. Andreasen joined OHSU in 2011 after serving as a professor and founding chair of the Department of Epidemiology and Biostatistics at the University of Florida College of Public Health and Health Professions. She trained as an epidemiologist, receiving her PhD from the University of Washington, and she received additional training in health services research. She's had a very productive and distinguished academic career, with much of it focused on studying aging and the public health outcomes of disability across the lifespan, as well as health services outcomes and research methods and measures. Dr. Andreasen serves as PI of the Oregon Office on Disability and Health at OHSU, which is funded through the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta. We're honored to have Dr. Andreasen with us here today to address the class of 2019. Please join me in welcoming her to the stage.
Thank you, Dr. Lead, and thank you, Class Representative Sonia Lee. And you may be crediting the good wine for your being here, but I think being asked shows up really strongly in your comments. I want to thank you for that. Welcome again to graduates, faculty, friends, and family. I'm honored to be here today as we recognize the significant achievements of the 2019 graduates of the OHSU College of Pharmacy. Core to the strategic vision of OHSU is partnership. As you heard, we're the only public health science center in the state. And in order to succeed, we seek partnerships that lead to health and science innovation, partnerships that improve the health and well-being of those we care for, and partnerships that enhance the educational experience for our students. So the Oregon State University OHSU pharmacy program is a picture-perfect example of putting partnership into action in pursuit of our shared goals. This unique program combines OSU's incredibly rigorous scientific foundation with OHSU's broad-based clinical programs. So those of you who are here today have experienced learning in our collaborative life sciences building. It's a physical embodiment of the kind of partnership that we have, having built that together among 3 universities. And that educational environment and innovation fosters interprofessional and patient-focused approach to healthcare. So you train alongside students pursuing other health professions, creating the environment in which you will practice as an integral member of cross-functional care teams. That's somewhat unique in the nation. Everyone talks about interprofessional care, and very few programs have come together with a number of disciplines that our partnership has for training. Some of you had a chance to participate in our OHSU Campus for Rural Health with interprofessional activities that are in Klamath Falls, Coos Bay, South Coast, or La Grande in the Northeast. Your experience and observations and giving us feedback have allowed us to continue the expansion and the clarity and quality for Oregon health professional students and to learn in the rural settings. I also want to recognize Dr. Mark Lead for his commitment and leadership on both campuses. I'm sure you can appreciate the challenges, students especially, of supporting faculty and students on 2 campuses separated by some 70 miles. I've really enjoyed getting to know Oregon State University more over the last few years as provost, and my time with Dr. Lead and his understanding has been really useful about the changes in academic and clinical pharmacy. Those are things I've learned a lot about in the last year. And I also want to thank him for his personal warmth and support as an academic team member who also functions at OHSU. So nearly every day, we read headlines detailing changes in healthcare, from how it is funded and delivered to an accelerating pace of scientific discoveries. But what isn't going to change with all of that you've seen change in your education and going forward is the collaborative nature of providing patient-focused care. As a doctor of pharmacy, or as a PhD doing research, you play a frontline role in the delivery of that care, working in collaboration with other providers. Together, across the spectrum of health professionals, the evidence of systems says that we must partner and collaborate to improve care outcomes, reduce errors, and enhance patient experience. Your discipline is involved in understanding systems and appropriate use of medicines in preventive, curative, and palliative therapies. Today, we recognize your academic achievement. We would also celebrate the personal commitment and values that led you to pursue pharmacy as a career. You may have different reasons for that pursuit, but you all share a dedication to serving others and to help patients feel better and recover more quickly. So congratulations, class of 2019, for committing to this rewarding and ever-challenging profession. I'm incredibly pleased to be able to share this important moment with you, and I wish you all the best. OHSU will proudly go with you in your future careers. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Andreessen, for your thoughtful and motivating message to our graduates and their families. We greatly value our collaboration with OHSU and the incredible opportunities that the partnership provides for both students and faculty. At this time, it's my distinct honor to introduce Dr. Edward Fazer, Provost and Executive Vice President of Oregon State University. As Chief Academic Officer of the university, Dr. Fazer oversees 11 academic colleges, the University Honors College, the Graduate School, the University Library, the divisions of Faculty Affairs, Enrollment Management, Undergraduate Education, Student Affairs, Outreach and Engagement, and Information and Technology. And it's not written here, but I'm pretty sure he was a finalist for head baseball coach as well. Well, we'll see. He also oversees the university's annual budget development and strategic plan. Previously, Provost Fazer has held several leadership roles at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, including interim provost and vice chancellor for academic affairs, dean of the College of Fine and Applied Arts, and head of the Department of Urban and Regional Planning. He also served as a Davies Chair of Entrepreneurship and head of the Division of Innovation, Management, and Policy at the Alliance Manchester Business School at the University of Manchester in the UK. Provost Fazer is a professor of public policy with expertise in regional economic development, and he holds a PhD in regional planning from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Please join me in welcoming Provost Fazer to the stage.
Thanks, Mark. The interview for the baseball coach was a train wreck, so Scott Barnes went with somebody else. I'm really pleased to be here with Dean Lead, the faculty and staff of the College of Pharmacy, my colleague from OHSU, Provost Andreessen, and each of you on this day of accomplishment and celebration. Congratulations, graduates, on earning your degrees. Today's celebration signals the conclusion of one chapter and beginning of another in your lives and careers. I hope you take time to pause and reflect just a little while on all you have accomplished. It also marks an important milestone for your family and friends. They've supported you in many ways and are surely proud of your accomplishments, and they're surely relieved you're finally done. I remember explaining to my mother that a law degree that my sister had earned in 3 years was different than a PhD degree that I earned in 5. She never understood why it took me 2 years longer. So I'm sure your family is relieved. In your rigorous course of study, offered through an innovative partnership between OHSU and OSU, as you heard Elena talk about, You've excelled in the classroom, in research, and in community service in the increasingly complex and challenging field of pharmacy. I want to acknowledge, as Dean Lead did, our excellent College of Pharmacy faculty who in their research funding rank among the top 25 of 135 schools of pharmacy nationally. Our faculty are doing cutting-edge work, creating solutions to the opioid crisis, sexually transmitted diseases, and escalating pharmaceutical drug prices, among many other areas. I also want to thank and acknowledge the inspired and decisive leadership of Professor Mark Lead, who served as interim dean this past year. His clear commitment to the core mission of the College of Pharmacy, his advocacy for the role it plays in OSU's academic portfolio and in Oregon and beyond, and his effectiveness in stewarding our partnership with OHSU has had a significant and positive impact on the upward trajectory of the college. College of Pharmacy and OSU are much better for his leadership. Thank you, Mark. Graduates, you are entering the health profession at an exciting time, positioned to be both leaders and partners with others in preventing and treating diverse and multidisciplinary health challenges. This is also an especially exciting time to enter the practice of pharmacy in the state of Oregon. A few years ago, Oregon became one of the few states to recognize pharmacists with provider status, allowing them to bill for clinical pharmacy services and strengthening pharmacists' role as a critical part of healthcare teams. The Oregon legislature also recently passed a second landmark bill that enables certified pharmacists to prescribe hormonal birth control. Oregon and OSU's College of Pharmacy have become national leaders in this important trailblazing effort. Since the bill's passage in 2016, 8 other states and the District of Columbia have followed suit. Our college has been a leader in preparing pharmacists for this new role, including through a partnership with the State Board of Pharmacy and the development of an online certification program. Recent College of Pharmacy research suggests that in the first 2 years after the law went into effect, pharmacists prescribed contraception, prevented more than 50 unintended pregnancies, and saved an estimated $1.6 million in associated taxpayer expense. Further analysis shows that when pharmacists are allowed to prescribe hormonal contraceptives, access to birth control increases and the risk of unwanted pregnancies decreases. You will enter a profession in a position to further extend these positive outcomes while also contributing to the further evolution and development of pharmacy practice in prevention and treatment. While at OSU, you were involved in significant developments in other ways as well. You were among the first classes of PharmD students to attend classes in the new Collaborative Life Sciences building in Portland. This building extends the collaborative relationship between OSU and OHSU while bringing students in all of the healthcare professions together under one roof. The Collaborative Life Sciences building has also catalyzed new transdisciplinary biomedical research opportunities for our faculty and PhD students. The expansion of laboratory research and graduate education furthers OSU's presence in Portland and deepens our partnership with OHSU, especially with the Knight Cancer Institute. Several of you have been part of the Bridges Collaborative Care Clinic in Portland, a partnership of OSU, Portland State, and OHSU, where students collaborate to help people transition from homelessness to housing in the metropolitan area. This project was one of 10 such projects recognized this year with OSU's Outreach and Engagement Award for Excellence. This year's class includes 13 students who have earned Doctorate of Pharmacy degrees and are pursuing an MBA. As Dean Lead mentioned, the innovative PharmD MBA dual degree program prepares the next generation of business leaders in the profession of pharmacy in areas ranging from community practice to management of large healthcare organizations. 4 of today's graduates have earned both degrees. A warm congratulations to you. Congratulations also to those among you who are earning your PhD, the highest credential awarded by the university. Our new College of Pharmacy PhDs have published their work in some of the top international journals, received prestigious scholarships, and landed influential postdoctoral fellowships and positions in industry. Congratulations to you as well. At Oregon State University, we strive to produce graduates who are highly trained in their chosen fields of study and who are equipped and motivated to tackle society's greatest challenges. Standing here, I know you exemplify the best of what we do at the university. We're proud of you, and I wish you the best as you make your way in the world and bring your knowledge and expertise to bear in improving health and wellness in Oregon and beyond. Congratulations.
Thank you, Provost Fazer, for your inspiring words to the class of 2019 and their guests. And as a personal note, I want to thank both Provost Andreessen and Provost Fazer for teaching me so much over the past 12 months. Next, the College of Pharmacy will recognize the accomplishments of the members of the graduating class who have distinguished themselves in scholarship and leadership. These awards, which are made possible by the generosity of a number of donors, will be presented by Dr. John Ferruno, Interim Chair of the Department of Pharmacy Practice, and Dr. Teresa Filtz, Chair of the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences.
Hello, welcome. So each year, a number of organizations ask us to assist them in recognizing excellence among, among those individuals entering the pharmacy profession. This year we have 12 awards and 13 recipients. Selecting recipients is one of the more difficult tasks faculty are asked to do. When your name is called, please come to the stage to receive your award from Dr. Filtz. Some of the awards may be heavy or difficult to carry and can be retrieved at the conclusion of the ceremony in the reception area. The first set of awards we will give come from organizations acknowledging the importance of effective communication in pharmacy. Communication between pharmacists, other health professionals, and most importantly, patients is vital for translating a perfect therapeutic plan into an optimal outcome. The following graduates have demonstrated they are especially talented in the area of communications. Rebecca Guys. Rebecca is the recipient of the Mylan Excellence in Pharmacy Award. The Mylan Excellence in Pharmacy Award recognizes a graduate who's in the top 25% of their class academically and has both high professional motivation as well as superior proficiency in the provision of drug information services. Rebecca is an outstanding leader in the profession to her classmates. She will receive a certificate acknowledging the award and a custom-framed lithograph entitled Pharmacy, A Tradition in Healing. The certificate and lithograph will contain Rebecca's name and the year of the award. Congratulations. Odessa Igwe. Odessa is the recipient of the Excellence in Clinical Communication Award, sponsored by Wolters Kluwer Health. This award is presented each year to an outstanding graduate who's in the top 25% of their class academically and has demonstrated superior written and verbal communication skills in clinical settings. Odessa has excelled academically and has demonstrated the ability to communicate her knowledge effectively to the patient. For her excellence in this area, Odessa is receiving a framed award certificate, a one-year subscription to the online Facts and Comparison e-Answers, and a one-year subscription to Lexi Complete. For our next award, we are joined by 2006 alum Heather Peterson, health informaticist and clinical pharmacist from Indian Health Services, who will present this award.
The USPHS Excellence in Public Health Pharmacy Practice Award acknowledges students who are active in developing innovative approaches to current public health challenges. Today's recipient is recognized for his leadership and collaboration establishing the first student-run free clinic in Oregon. On behalf of our chief pharmacist, Admiral Ty Bingham, I am pleased to present this award to Kevin Christie.
The next set of awards identifies graduates who have clearly demonstrated leadership while earning the professional pharmacy degree. Whether they were involved in student organizations and community outreach, stood out academically, or led their class by example through enthusiasm and skill, these graduates stand out as having made an impact in our collective experience and our profession. We begin by recognizing 2 individuals for academic excellence. The Merck Outstanding Student in Pharmacy Award goes to Rusty Newcomb and Jason Wang. Do you want me to hold one of it? Do you want me to hold one of it? I can do that. This is a really fun job. Sorry. So I didn't describe the award because I was handing Jason's book, but the Merck Award is given annually to 2 graduates who have displayed a very high level of academic achievement throughout their professional studies. The recipients have displayed extraordinary success in the classroom and have also have the capacity to complete their knowledge, couple their knowledge with other skills to optimize patient care. Their awards include copies of both the Merck Manual of Diagnosis and Therapy. Next up, the Eli Lilly Achievement Award is given each year to an individual who has distinguished him or herself as a leader in their class. This year's recipient is Peter Atkins. The Eli Lilly Achievement Award holds the distinction of being the oldest award we will present today. Peter will receive an award certificate and a reference book. The APHA ASP Senior Recognition Certificate goes to Nathan Wong. The Senior Recognition Certificate is given to a graduate who has exhibited the ideals of patient care and has demonstrated exceptional service and commitment to the profession through involvement in professional organizations. Nathan will receive an award certificate, and APHA will nationally recognize all honored students through its publications. Congratulations. The American Society of Health System Pharmacists, or ASHP plaque, is awarded to Shannon O'Leary. ASHP is a national organization that represents pharmacists as patient care providers in acute and ambulatory care settings. ASHP honors past student officers who have served both ASHP and our local organization, OSHP. Shannon is past president of our student chapter. During her presidency, Shannon organized the annual leadership seminar and Quick Conversations, a lively networking event in which pharmacy students interact with faculty and preceptors from various institutions. She presented 2 posters at midyear, highlighting OSU's outreach events and volunteer interdisciplinary student services in the Bridges Collaborative Clinic. For her service, Shannon is awarded this plaque from ASHP. Sorry. The final awards are given to students who have steadfastly demonstrated and often surpassed the essential characteristics of student pharmacists as outlined in our College of Pharmacy student manual. While we previously gave out singularly titled College of Pharmacy Outstanding Graduate Award, we want to recognize 5 exceptional students for their individual strengths with the College of Pharmacy Award for Excellence, specifically in health education, leadership, professional engagement, patient care and advocacy, and scholarship and creative inquiry. Each recipient will receive an inscribed plaque. For excellence in health education, we award Leah Isip. The Excellence in Leadership Award recipient is Shannon O'Leary. Do you want to have him stay up or no? Okay. Not scripted. Where's Shannon? She's back. Okay. The Excellence in Professional Engagement recipient is Ling Zan. Coming? Okay. We promise we'll give it back. And for excellence in patient care and advocacy, we award Cameron Cargile. And lastly, for excellence in scholarship and creative inquiry, we award Laura Abel. Do you want to hold one? Yeah, for that. So again, congratulations to the entire graduating class. I'm sincere in noting that these individuals truly exemplify the accomplishments of the entire class. Please join me in congratulating all of them one more time.
All right. The Doctor of Philosophy or PhD degree and the Master of Science or MS degrees are the two highest academic degrees offered by Oregon State University. These degrees take several years of dedication to advanced coursework and research training. The PhD students receive their diplomas, which must be conferred by the Dean of the Graduate School during the main university commencement ceremony tomorrow in the stadium. But we want to recognize them as an integral part of the College of Pharmacy commencement today as well. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Pharmaceutical Sciences please rise and come forward as your name is called?
Hooded by Dr. Taratula. Thank you, everyone. I'm excited for what comes next. Hooded by Dr. McPhail. David has started a postdoc at University of Utah. He would like to thank his family, friends, and advisor, Dr. McPhail, for all their help and support. Hooded by Dr. Mahmood. Thank you to my family and friends for supporting my education.
All right, guess this is what you've been waiting for. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Pharmacy please rise? This marks the 19th year Oregon State University has awarded the Doctor of Pharmacy degree. This is the highest professional practice degree in pharmacy and a prerequisite for licensure as a pharmacist going forward. Our degree program is unique as OSU and OHSU award it jointly. With the approval of the presidents and provosts of both universities, again, we are pleased to have Dr. Fazer and Andreessen here to greet the graduates as they receive the diploma. The candidates before us have completed all of the rigorous academic training of the College of Pharmacy curriculum as approved by the faculty. In recognition of your accomplishments, it is my honor to confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Pharmacy with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities therein. In testimony thereof, you are to be presented with your doctoral hoods along with your diploma. Congratulations. So the graduates can now be seated. Graduates, Dr. DeLander will call your name. Paige will attach an alumni pin. You'll come up in a row. Paige will attach an alumni pin on your gown, and you'll walk across the stage to be hooded by either Dr. Braden Suki or Dr. Ollier. You'll then continue walking across the stage to receive your diploma from me and be congratulated by both provost and me. And don't forget to pause for a picture. And I'm such a dad, but I've noticed that some of you are wearing high heels. And there are these huge cracks in this stage. Please do not insert your heel in one of these cracks, or we're going to have a different ceremony for you. After that, then you return to your seat.
Dr. Laura Abel.
I would like to thank Janelle for starting me on this pharmacy journey, my husband Andrew and my parents who supported me, my girls who gave meaning and lots of life to my study breaks, and my classmates who inspire confidence in caring for people.
Dr. Ali Abu Saidi.
Thank you, my dear family, friends, and colleagues, for all your support. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for your continuous encouragement and positivity. And to all of my wonderful professors, it has been an honor learning from each of you.
Dr. Alyssa Marinan Aguilar.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Lori and Chris. Thank you to my brothers, my best friends, and the rest of my family who have traveled hundreds and thousands of miles to see me walk across this stage. I owe my success to all of you.
Dr. Tori Rex Anderson.
Thank you to my family and friends for all of your support.
Dr. Peter Atkins.
Thank you so much to my family, friends, classmates, and mentors who have helped me through the last 4 years. You are all amazing, and I appreciate your support.
Dr. Omar Avila Vasquez.
Thank you to everyone that helped me along the way, especially my family for believing in me.
Dr. Cameron Scott Cargile.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for your nonstop support, and congrats, you officially have your retirement fund. Grandma, thank you for your constant prayers and calling to say how much you love me. Tiff, you are my dream come true, and I love you with all my heart.
Dr. Rochelle Castrillo.
I'm extremely grateful for all the love and support from those here today. My mom and dad, my boyfriend, my big brother, and my aunt and uncle, as well as all of my other family and friends who have inspired and encouraged me every step of the way. Thank you.
Dr. Jenny Chan.
To my family and friends, thank you all so much for all that you have done to help me get here today.
Dr. Sean Chan.
It has been a long journey, and I could not have done it without my family and friends. Thank you for all of your support.
Dr. Justin Chen.
I would like to thank my family, girlfriend, and friends for their support throughout these 4 years.
Dr. Kevin Christie.
Thank you to all of my family and friends for all of the support these last 4 years. I'm looking forward to writing the next chapter of my life with all of you. Go Beavs.
Dr. Dustin Clark.
Thank you so much to all of my friends and family who supported me. I love you all. Go Beavs.
Dr. Sean Colebrook.
Baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go, oh, 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 as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst.
Dr. Jason Collins.
Jason would like to thank his parents, grandparents, and girlfriend for all of their love, support, and encouragement over the years. He plans to work as an ambulatory care pharmacist and would like to focus on working with diabetic patients.
Dr. Johanna Dang.
Thank you to all of my family and friends for standing by my side through all of the stressful days and nights. Thank you for pushing me when I felt like giving up and feeding me when I was hangry. I wouldn't have made it without y'all.
Dr. Trey Davenhill.
Thank you to my family for their support and encouragement throughout this journey. I look forward to a rewarding career as a community pharmacist.
Dr. Tyler Deering.
Tyler would like to thank his family, especially his parents, for supporting him during these last 4 years. He would also like to give a shout out to his future wife, Katie. Tyler will be working at Klamath Health Partnership as the PIC next year.
Dr. Lorraine Decker.
Thank you to my family and friends. Now is the time for you to remind me what we used to do for fun. Callie and Jenny, 0 more days.
Dr. Kyle Gretsch.
Kyle would like to thank his father, Larry, his brothers, Austin, Alex, and Tony, his sister, Beth, and his friends, Tori and Phil, for their endless support through this life endeavor. Kyle will be completing a PGY1 with Peace Health in Springfield, Oregon.
Dr. Rebecca Eleanor Guys.
I wouldn't be here today without the encouragement and support of my family, boyfriend, friends, classmates, mentors, and professors. You are essential to my pharmacy journey and residency position in pediatrics at CHKD. Thank you for everything.
Dr. Eric Hasty.
Eric will be pursuing a PGY1 at Providence Sacred Heart Medical Center with a focus in critical care and would like to send a special thanks to his family and loved ones for their continued support during this journey.
Dr. Christina Danielle Montanino Heim.
Christina would like to thank her family for the love and support they gave her these past 7 years. The road was not easy, but completely worth it. This PharmD was not only earned by her, but by the entire family with sacrifices they made. Thank you.
Dr. John Ho.
Thank you, Mom, Dad, Tina, Tom, and Lobo for all of the sacrifices you have made for me, big or small, noticed or unnoticed. I would like to thank my beautiful girlfriend for always pushing me. To my preceptors and friends, thank you for all the support.
Dr. Marius Abuye Balola.
I am grateful to my family for their support throughout my educational journey. This is a first doctorate degree in my family, and I dedicate it to my nephews and nieces and my future children to be reminded where there is a will, there is a way.
Dr. Odessa Igwe.
I would like to thank the faculty. Thank you, Dad, for being my #1 supporter, and my brothers and sisters for always motivating me to be my best, and my fave, Judy. Lastly, I would like to thank my grandma, my #1 fan. Couldn't have done it without you all. I love you.
Dr. Leah Isep.
It feels great to finally reach this point. I am grateful for the friends and the experiences I've had throughout pharmacy school. Thank you so much to my family and supporters.
Dr. Catherine Elizabeth Jansen.
I would like to thank my family and friends for all their support during pharmacy school. Thank you to my preceptors and mentors for challenging and teaching me. Go Beavs.
Dr. Stephanie Jarokovic.
I would like to thank both of my parents, my sister Mallory and my brother Whit, and my wonderful boyfriend Eric for continuously supporting me. And to my dad, I am so grateful. Next, I will be starting a PGY1 residency with Sky Lakes Medical Center.
Dr. Carson Jones.
I would like to thank my family for their endless support over the last few years and all of my new friends for making this adventure so memorable. I couldn't have done it without them. Go Beavs.
Dr. Esther Junkers.
Thank you, everyone. It's been a blast.
Dr. Ian Junkers.
Cheers to everyone, and may you all live a happy and long life.
Dr. Paul Martin Kersey.
Thank you to my parents for their constant support. They have both always been there for me, and I am very grateful for them. Thank you to my fiance, Miriam, for pushing me to be my best. Thank you to Safeway for employing me during and after school.
Dr. Kelly Kronsberg.
Kelly's time here has been notable for representing us nationally with the ASHP Clinical Skills Competition and the ACCP Clinical Pharmacy Challenge. She thanks her family, professors, preceptors, classmates, and coworkers for helping her along the journey.
Dr. Anna Andreevna Krikun.
Anna is grateful to her parents, grandparents, faculty, staff, and scholarship donors for supporting her throughout the journey. She is excited to start her career as a pharmacy resident at the Portland VA and aspires to work in pharmacy administration.
Dr. Melissa Lambert.
I was 8 years old when I decided to become a pharmacist. It has been a long and tough road to get where I am today. I am very thankful for the love and support I have received from my family. I'm very excited to start this new chapter of my life.
Dr. Evan James Lang.
Evan will begin his PGY1 residency at Pacific Source Health Plans this summer in Bend, Oregon. He gives special thanks to his family, including the Arnolds, and especially to his fiancée, Stephanie, for their support. Go Goonies and go Beavs.
Dr. Eugene Lee.
Thanks much to my family and friends for their support and prayers. I promise there will be no more doctoral degrees in my life, which makes this moment more meaningful. I am excited with the next chapter of my life with pharmacy practice.
Dr. Gina Lee.
Gina wants to thank the friends, family, and faculty members who supported and guided her through her education and helped create fun and cherished memories.
Dr. Sonia Lee.
Friends, we have come a long way and our future is bright. I am so proud of you guys. Hammonds, I always thank you for your support and love you give me. Mom, Dad, Mindy, you each helped me become who I am now. Words cannot express my gratitude, but kamsa hamnida.
Dr. Bo Liu.
Thank you to all the people who have helped me get here, including family, teachers, faculty, classmates, healthcare professionals, and associates.
Dr. Tyler Main.
Thank you to my new friends, family, and loving wife for helping me get to where I am. Kendall and I are excited to be starting the next chapter of our lives in Central Oregon.
Dr. Natasha Malik.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for always supporting me. Thank you to my sister for being my rock. Thank you to the friends, old and new, who kept me sane. Remember, friends, to be kind. Everyone you meet is fighting their own battles. This one is for you and me, Amjad.
Dr. Manuel Mendoza Martinez, Jr.
I would like to thank God for his many blessings. I would also like to thank my beautiful wife, Rosie, my two sons, my wonderful parents, and my mother-in-law for their support and encouragement. To my father-in-law, Fred, we miss you and wish you were here.
Dr. Anthony Mattiota.
I would like to thank all of my family and friends for supporting me during this endeavor. Now that I have completed 21 consecutive years of education, I have one final statement: freedom.
Dr. Heather McCollum.
As I walk across this stage and graduate into a new chapter of life, I want to thank my friends, family, and Pharmaly for the love and support that I have received throughout this adventure.
Dr. Joshua Melander.
Thank you to my parents, brother, and sister-in-law for helping me in many ways over the last 4 years. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you to the many friends I have made among you all. I know that the class of 2019 will do great things.
Dr. Joshua Miller.
Thank you all for your support and friendship over these last few years.
Dr. Jennifer Marie Neal.
Thank you to my family and friends for always supporting me throughout this long process. I hope my parents are smiling down and know they are always a driving factor pushing me to succeed. To Callie and Lori, I couldn't have done it without you.
Dr. Rusty Newcomb.
Rusty dedicates her academic achievements to her father, mother, and sister for their continued love and support. And a special thank you to her husband for his unconditional love and willingness to see things her way eventually.
Dr. Alan Nguyen.
I would like to thank my family and friends for helping me get through these last 4 years. Thank you for the amazing support and love.
Dr. Nian Nguyen.
I would like to thank my family for their continuous support. A special thanks to my partner, Nick Doe, for always believing in me. I'm excited to start a new chapter this summer as a pharmacy resident, and I'm proud to be a graduate of the class of 2019.
Dr. Quen Nguyen.
Thanks, Mom, for loving me unconditionally and giving me the best education I could have. I'm truly blessed and grateful for the invaluable learning experiences and lifetime friendships that I've gained in the past 4 years at the OSU College of Pharmacy. Thank you.
Dr. Summer Trang Nguyen.
Thank you to my family and friends for all that you have done to help me over these years.
Dr. Viet Nguyen.
I would like to thank my professors, preceptors, family members, and friends who have helped me throughout pharmacy school. After graduation, I will pursue additional training as a PGY1 resident at Salem Health Hospital.
Dr. Brett Arthur Nibbler.
As Mark Twain said, I have never let my schooling interfere with my education. Brett thanks his parents and siblings for not giving up on him, his doting aunts, Marion and Connie, and his lovely little family, Tiffany and Caden.
Dr. Jessica Nikulcha.
I would like to thank God, my dad, my mom, my siblings, and my friends. Without all of your support and encouragement, I would not be here today.
Dr. Delia O.
Thank you, family, friends, and wonderful classmates and faculties for helping me through pharmacy school. Class of 2019 is the best class.
Dr. Shannon O'Leary.
Shannon would like to thank her parents, Lisa and Scott O'Leary, and her best friend, Shawnee Clark, for their unlimited love and support. Additionally, a heartfelt thank you to all her preceptors and mentors over the last 4 years.
Dr. Robert George Perry III.
I would like to dedicate this achievement to the Lord for his continuous guidance and grace in my life. I also want to thank my wife, my family, and my friends for their support, encouragement, and prayers throughout my educational journey. Thank you.
Dr. Tiffany Pham.
Thank you, family and friends, for supporting me in my college education. My next chapter in life is to become a great community pharmacist, just as the pharmacist I met years ago.
Dr. Alexander Ramirez.
Thank you all for your support and friendship throughout these years. We did it.
Dr. Lorianne Noel Reese.
I want to thank my family and friends for all of their love and support through my journey during pharmacy school. In addition, I would like to thank all of the faculty and professors that have helped me to learn and grow as a pharmacist. Most importantly, I would like to thank God, for without him, I would not have been able to do this.
Dr. Callie April Rose Remington.
I want to thank my family for always being supportive throughout my journey in pharmacy school. I wouldn't be where I am today without their patience and love. I look forward to working in an ever-changing profession where opportunities are limitless.
Dr. Trevor Ross.
Sincerest thanks to those who have supported me, mentored me, and helped me maintain my sanity throughout these wild years. This has truly been an experience of a lifetime. Now on to the next journey life brings me.
Dr. Catherine Jane Rowland.
Catherine wouldn't be here without the incredible encouragement of her family. She would like to thank her parents, Bruce and Mary, and her siblings for their unconditional support. After graduation, Catherine will join the Albertsons team in Eugene.
Dr. Christy Rose Sabin.
I want to thank the wonderful people in my life who have shown an unwavering support throughout my pharmacy school journey. Most of all, I want to thank my fiance, Hayden, for always believing in me and for letting me drag him to Oregon.
Dr. Michael Seidner.
I would like to thank my family most of all and recognize my mother, Margie, and my father, Don.
Dr. Brian Smith.
To my family and friends, thank you all so much for all that you've done to help me get here today.
Dr. Michelle Dawn Snyder.
So many people have helped me on this long journey, but I would especially like to thank my husband and children, my parents, my brother and his family, and my pharmacy family at Good Sam for supporting me along the way.
Dr. Judy Sok.
I gratefully thank all pharmacy staff for their mentorship. Thank you to my loving family and friends for their support and words of encouragement, especially my sister, Lak Na. Lastly, thank you to my family for making this past 4 years an enjoyable journey.
Dr. Jonathan Sparhawk.
Thank you to all my friends and family.
Dr. Olivia Catherine Stewart.
Thank you to my family, friends, pharmacy preceptors, and mentors for their guidance and support throughout pharmacy school. After graduation, I'll be working at OHSU as an inpatient relief pharmacist.
Dr. Young K. Tan.
I would like to thank my family and friends for their support and love throughout this long journey. After graduation, I will start my career with the Air Force as a pharmacist.
Dr. Travis Tang.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, as well as all of my family and friends for supporting me through this journey.
Dr. Sarah Layun Thompson.
Thank you, family and friends, for your support. Mom and Dad, thank you for always encouraging me. Thank you to my mother-in-law, Carrie, for your continued support. To my husband, Jake, and our children, we did it. Thanks for everything, class of 2019. Go Beavs.
Dr. Tai Tran.
I would like to thank my family for the continuous support they have given me throughout my time in pharmacy school. For the next few years, I am very excited to continue my study in the PhD program with Dr. Cusey. This is going to be awesome.
Dr. Andrew Chernia.
I would like to thank my mom, dad, and brother Nick for their enormous support and encouragement throughout these past 4 years.
Dr. Tiana Nicole Tynes.
Thank you to everyone in my life for this support. I made it, guys.
Dr. Kelly Waldrop.
Thank you to all my professors and preceptors for putting up with my endless questions and clarifications. I learned so much over these last 4 years, and I can't wait to see where my career as a pharmacist takes me. And to Jenny and Lori, we did it.
Dr. Jason Wang.
Thank you all for the 4 years of education, wisdom, fun, and grueling exams that I will hold dear to my heart as I move on towards the future.
Dr. Ri Wang.
I would like to thank my family and friends for their support and love. I couldn't have done it without you. I am very excited to begin my residency at the VA Portland after graduation.
Dr. John White.
I would like to say thank you to my wonderful family and friends who have shown me so much love and support over the past 8 years. I couldn't have done it without you.
Dr. Ann Wiles.
To my family and friends, thank you all so much for all that you've done to help me get here today.
Dr. Nathan Wong.
Thank you for everything, Mom.
Dr. Kristen Woomer.
I would like to thank my family and friends for all of their love and support through this journey. I'm so thankful to have been part of such a wonderful family. You guys are seriously some of the best people I know. Cheers.
Dr. Hua Zhang.
AKA The Flash, and still record keeper for the fastest test taker at 5 minutes.
Dr. Ling Zan.
I would like to thank my mom, dad, Jenny, David, and Mandy for their love and support. Thank you, Justin, for your encouragement and putting up with my craziness. And thank you to all the amazing friends who made this journey so memorable and fun.
Dr. Mason Zhang.
Wow, 4 years of pharmacy school and only 250 characters to sum it up. I would like to thank my mentors, friends, family, and girlfriend for their unwavering support throughout this journey. I can't wait to give back to this prestigious profession.
Dr. Pei-Ling Zhen.
Thanks to my family for their love, support, and encouragement. Thanks to my friends for cheering me on and being great company. Thanks to my peers and those who have helped and believed in me. Congratulations to my classmates. We've made it.
All right. Graduates, let me make sure where I am here. Graduates, will you all please rise? First, I would like the audience to join with me, the faculty and staff, in congratulating the graduates one more time with our applause. Now, graduates, please stay standing, and Sonia Lee's going to come back and recite the oath of a pharmacist that you're all going to have to follow along with.
Oath of a pharmacist. I promise to devote myself to through the profession of pharmacy. In fulfilling this vow, I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concerns. I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to assure optimal outcomes for my patients. I will respect and protect our personal and health information entrusted to me. I will accept the lifelong obligation to impart personal knowledge and competence. I will hold myself and my colleagues to the highest principles of our profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct. I will embrace and advocate changes that improve patient care. I will utilize my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values to prepare the next generation of pharmacists. I take these vows voluntarily with the full realization of the responsibility with which I am entrusted by the public. Thank you.
All right, you can sit down. You can sit down for a minute. These ceremonies would not be complete without paying tribute to those who have helped the graduates make it to this special day. And so will all the parents, spouses, children, companions, supporting friends of the class of 2019 please stand so we may congratulate and thank you. Before we adjourn today, I want to welcome all graduates to the family of the OSU College of Pharmacy alumni. I sincerely hope that College of Pharmacy will remain an important part of who you are, both professionally and personally. We hope to see you often at continuing education seminars, professional meetings, or at the college for an alumni or homecoming event. Please don't hesitate to contact me personally or send us a note to include in the alumni news section of the BeaverRx newsletter, or update your contact information through the College of Pharmacy website. I encourage you to take every opportunity to share your accomplishments, big and small, with us. This isn't written in what I'm supposed to say, but I feel like I should say it anyway. And I want to tell the graduating class what I told the P1 entering class at White Coat Ceremony this year, and it's going to sound a bit like I'm a dad, because I am. I think that that you hear a lot about this work-life balance thing. We've told you about it. You probably didn't pay much attention to it because you were working too hard for your degree, and I think that's positive. And that's evidenced by you sitting here and receiving these degrees today. So I think the work-life balance thing is important, but I think that you should work as hard as you possibly can, and I think the reason to do that is that you will never know what you're capable of unless you throw everything you have into the job. I think you should be the pharmacist with whom you want to work, right? And I'll quote Mike Jackson, who's a bartender at the Meeting Place Tavern in Philomath. That's not where I met him. I used to coach Little League Baseball with him, and Mike Jackson would say to these little kids, "It takes zero talent to hustle." And that means for you, you should sense what needs to be done in the pharmacy and do it without being asked, and stay as long as you have to until the work is over. Okay? And then you can worry about this work-life balance thing. So, at least my wife tells me that's very important. To conclude, I would like to extend my personal congratulations to all of you. All of our graduates and award recipients, your achievements are to be commended. Graduates and guests, the 19th annual graduation ceremony of the College of Pharmacy is adjourned. The audience is requested to remain seated until the faculty and graduates have left the auditorium, but please proceed outside to join us on the lawn for a reception to greet and congratulate our new graduates. Congratulations to the College of Pharmacy and welcome to our alumni family.
a celebration to last throughout the years.